North American Pro League is back, baby. Tune in live to watch games on my Twitch, by the way. And oh boy, have we been getting spoiled with matches. Week 1 already had a massive showing from several teams. Shout out to JJ for managing to 7-0 Cruelty. But the team that really stood out to me was Wildcard. These boys looked hot, taking the fan favorite Spoit-led Shopify Rebellion to 7-7 match point overtime just to lose to Ambi dropping 20-some kills. So I was keeping a close eye on them as they faced off against SSG, NA's reigning champion team. And boy, did they not disappoint. This wildcard roster looks refreshed, fast, aggressive, and decisive on attack while staying rock solid even in the worst situations on defense. They can kill, they can clutch, and if they keep this up, they can win. Because their strategy and approach to the game looks like a winning formula, which could well embarrass even the best of teams. Since releasing a couple of years ago, Nighthaven Labs has rapidly risen to become one of my favorite maps in the esports scene. There's so many options for how to approach each round, and it consistently leads to fun, dynamic matches. This first round, SSG are defending basement. Their setup is relatively default for the pro level, focused on holding vert above sight with a particular focus on storage and control. Because of the destructible ceiling above tank and assembly, defenders can create vertical holes here to deny the exo plant, here to stop a breach rush, and then finally right here to get a long angle onto the plant spot tucked inside Animus. For attacking teams, this can be a serious problem to try and deal with. You have to do something about the vertical play, otherwise planting is impossible. So how do Wildcard look to figure this out? They choose to start off with a kitchen side take. Baby Shark sets a drone in the prep phase, which tells them kitchen is entirely clear, meaning if they're quick, they should be able to get control for free. The round starts, and Dash sends it in through lobby on Monty, looking to quickly take control of the open space.
4 and 1 on the entry. Most of that coming on the attacking side, to be fair, so if he's gonna stick close to the script from that cafe game on day 1, we'll have to wait to see a lot of Ashen's impact.
He runs into Newers, who is forced back after seeing the Monty. But why does Newers give up so quickly? Well, even though Dash's Monty doesn't represent any particular threat, Newers is worried that there might be somebody following behind. If he were to overcommit and try and kill Dash, any other attacker following up would have an easy kill onto the Azami. So he opts instead to simply give the space and play for more favorable fights later on. In the meantime though, Wildcard continue their take. Spiker and Bay both join Dash to help him hold control, while Kansan sets up outside the vending window as they begin to face their first real obstacle, this setup on EXO. SSG have cooked up a serious trap that Wildcard need to deal with before progressing. Fultz plays solo on the EXO stairs, but he isn't as isolated as you might think. SSG reinforced the freezer walls to stop him getting pinched, set up these holes in the floor, which threaten a C4 toss, and have Newers and Benja playing 90 and storage, ready to swing anybody crossing vending at a moment's notice. This is a brutal setup to deal with, and would probably have your ranked opponents completely lost for what to do. But Wildcard are clinical with their approach, and dismantle the whole thing nearly perfectly. Check it out.
Find some information, find where they can gain an angle, and SSG just trying to make sure they can't get too much too quick.
Yeah, SSG have got to contend a lot of the map right now because of the bans. We've got the Cade and the Bandit ban. So you're very much expecting hard breach and reinforced walls to be opened. And the only way to kind of deny that is to play a little bit more aggressive, which is something that SSG are fairly well accustomed to. So far, they've done a good job of vying for that control and not giving anything up too easily. With the Monty available, you can be certain that Dash is going to use that.
Wildcard open freezer and use the Monty to push Fultz back. Fultz is forced to give, but even that's dangerous because Wildcard have added another layer to this set play. Before Dash forces Fultz back, Baby Shark opens up these holes in the floor vending. This creates an angle for him to peek onto the bottom of EXO stairs, and even though Fultz gets lucky and is able to sprint past, this is still genius out of Wildcard. As Fultz escapes, he pops a Goyo canister, which leads to a brief lull in the action as Wildcard are forced to wait for it to burn out, allowing SSG to move to their late round positions. See, SSG still have a few tricks up their sleeve, namely J90 C4 and Ashen Smokes. The thing is, even though this spot can't be seen from anywhere in sight that doesn't expose to the breach Kansan just opened, it can easily be hit by utility. All SSG need to do is make sure they keep themselves alive in order to throw that utility as Wildcard move in to start their plan.
Wildcard have a lot of what they saw, yet SSG maintain a lot of threats.
Or not. Bay peeks Ashen through the feet holes, putting SSG into a much worse spot. But remember, Wildcard never dealt with the vertical clear. Benja is still sitting storage just above site. If Dash tries to walk in and plant, he's in the perfect position to be able to deny this. All he needs to do is stay alive long enough to be able to maintain vision on the plant.
To pose against this incoming execute. Bay with a huge pickup, Ashen, and now Benja taken down.
Things fall apart for SSG as Benja is taken down by a genius play from Baby Shark. As Dash walks in, he peeks the vert created earlier in IT, staring down onto the Valkyrie as she stares down into sight. And with all of SSG's win conditions neutralized, the rest of the round is an easy mop-up for the Wildcard attack. After a few good rounds out of SSG, Wildcard are back attacking basement. SSG set up with a similar setup, though this time opting to contest more of the map in order to try and slow Wildcard down on the entry. They set up with Denari and Ella upstairs, using the traps to make a top floor entry difficult, while the rest of the team spreads out across the main floor to stop the top players getting cut off. The thing is, Nighthaven is a big map, and Wildcard work another quick collapse onto Kitchen, pinching from Freezer Hatch and Reception, where they manage to catch Fulse off guard, isolated from his teammates.
There's one person typing right now.
This is a Rainbow Six channel. There's at least a few people typing right now.
It's an excellent start, and Wildcard consolidate well, setting up flank watch with Nomad and posturing like they want to try the same exo take they did previously. This is something you'll often see in pro matches. Teams will show a strategy one round, which will establish a precedent in the minds of their opponents. Then, in future rounds, their opponents will be expecting something similar to occur, which the attack can use to their advantage. This round, Wildcard use it to get explosive towards storage. Remember, they know SSG will be playing the vert above assembly, so they figure if they can surround storage on all sides, they'll stand a pretty good chance at extending their advantage. Check it out.
Drone info here as well. Could this be another opening death on the side of SSG? Well, it's certainly going to be. Spiker picks up his second there. Ashen still battling for his first, and I don't think he's going to get it.
Ooh, well, he will, but it's a first traded Baby Shark.
Incredible work out of Wildcard as the exchange nets them a 3-for-1. Dash sends it through the storage window, distracting the defenders and causing Benja to expose himself to a long angle being held by Spiker from Cafeteria. Then we see a masterclass from Dash and Baby Shark, the two import players on Wildcard. Baby Shark is outside warehouse, holding a drone which sees the whole room. He spots Ashen moving to help his teammate storage and decides it's time to make his move. As Dash hits into storage, he lurks in from behind, ready to support his teammate who he knows is about to be pressed. Here though, Dash does so well to keep himself alive, countering Ashen's melee with a perfectly timed dash, giving Baby Shark time to close the distance and support. Let me be clear, this is incredible play out of the Brazilian, and even though he dies, the way he baits for his teammate is most of the reason Baby Shark is able to secure both Ashen and the follow-up onto Newers. Now, in a 4v1, the rest of the round should be an easy cleanup for Wildcard.
Looked good, even last round where they faltered. This time, I feel like they're waltzing into these gunfights and coming away the victors. Not that one, though. Janino has been looking snappy today. Even only 3-2. Hell of a good kill right there. Wildcard have most of what they need, though. Okay.
I mean, emphasis on the should.
As Janino can wrap around, might be able to catch Spiker falling off this plant, but again, such low HP. It's got to be kills like that. It has to be crazy flicks like that. And the odds are just too steep, even for one of the best players that we've ever seen in North America. Wildcard tied up 2-2.
Well, that was scary, wasn't it? I don't know, man. Sometimes J90 just be doing things that start making you believe. Anyways, what a round out of Wildcard, a real lockout performance from them. But there's still work to be done, and this next round has some incredible tech that, while extremely effective, is very easy for you to implement in your own games. Take a look. This round, SSG are defending upstairs with a default setup. On this site, a default setup sees the entire team dedicated to upstairs, with players mutually supporting each other across the site. Here, Rafters and Electric are the main points of contact, with both having support from Pillar and Command. This round, Wildcard want to go for a server-side take, opening IT, taking Electrical, and planting just inside site behind Pillar. The round starts, and Wildcard get to work right away trying to open IT. But even though they have the ace, they send Hibana to open the main wall. But why? This is the main breach, so Wildcard should want to open the biggest hole they can. Ace opens bigger holes than Hibana, so like, what's the deal? Well, that's only usually true. See, there's this cool advanced tech that you can use with Hibana that results in a bigger breach opening than you can even get with Thermite. And Wildcard decide to do that here. By shooting Hibana pellets at the very top and bottom of the wall, Wildcard are able to destroy the entire reinforcement, leaving just a soft wall in its place, which can easily be opened the rest of the way by a shield dash from Kansan. This tech is super useful, albeit a little bit dangerous to pull off. There's several spots where opening the breach can go wrong. Elevate.
The bottom, personally, but we'll see. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Don't do this. Don't. But in this case, it goes flawlessly for Wildcard, and they're able to move on to the next phase of their attack, taking Electrical. In Siege, hopping through a window always sucks. You make a lot of noise as you do it, it's a choke point the defenders know you're pushing through, so they can just swing off the sound as you hop in and just take you out. Because of this, in Pro League, window hops are generally a coordinated affair, especially when attackers are hopping in a window they know defenders will be close by. There's several options for utility to make this happen, but in this case, Wildcard abused the Nomad to make their push impossible to stop.
We'll take a very bold play from one of these defenders. It looks like Wildcard are just going to try and brute force it in through connection. We're going to send the diffuser first. Hello?
Oh, this can always be tricky, but look at that. Coordination with the air draft sent over top. Dash!
Amazing play out of Wildcard as 3 players come together to secure the opener. First, Spiker pre-fires Electrical, forcing Benja off the angle holding the window and into cover back Electrical. Then, Bay tosses in a flashbang, blinding the mute and taking away all audio momentarily. This on its own would be enough for most teams to hop in, but Wildcard want extra insurance. So while Benja can't hear, Bay also shoots in an air jab, sticking it on the wall right above Benja as Dash hops in the window. The air jab procs right before Dash swings, leading to an easy pickup for the ace. But that's not all. Dash is swung from Pillar by Ashen chasing a refrag, but he's so aware, shutting down the refrag and extending the lead for his team. Next, he continues soldiering forward, finding the Mirror of Faults also desperately seeking to bring back the advantage. And in the 4v2 that follows, Wildcards surround site, pushing Rafters, Connector, Water, and IT, pinching out the few remaining defenders and closing out another attacking round.
This is crazy mechanical skill we're seeing from everybody in the lobby at the moment.
The side swap, and after a few more rounds of Wildcard extending their lead, SSG on the attack decide to try something bold. I actually really like this bomb site, especially at lower levels and in ranked, because it takes just a lot of coordination to be able to attack properly. This round, Wildcard are set up with 3 players vert, as is standard for this defense. The point is the same as on basement. If attackers try a minimal take, just hopping in and trying to plant, the attempt can be easily denied through holes in the floor. But that only works if the players vertical are able to identify where you're planting. The way teams do this is by having a couple of players who stay down below on the same floor as the site. This way, attackers are forced to plant in one of just a few predictable positions. On this site, that's usually here inside storage, or here inside command. The thing is, if attackers can take full control of site, I mean killing everybody on the same floor as the bomb site, clearing it out, there's nobody, suddenly it isn't as easy to figure out where plant is going down. And in this round, that's exactly what SSG decide to try and do. They stack up with 5 defenders just outside the 90 window, aiming to route through cargo into site. There's just one thing they forgot to account for. Dash. Sitting in the hallway, he's in the perfect spot to stop this rush.
But if you try to EMP trade, all right, well, they're just I don't know why I'm talking about EMP tricking. This is SSG, who will not drone the window that they're hopping in, but somehow kind of manage a 3v4, 2v4, 1v, 2v4? We didn't drone the left side of the window.
The rush is stopped in its tracks, shut down before SSG even make it in the window, and with J90 and Benja stuck inside the building with zero control. The rest of the round is trivial to send a Wildcard to match point.
Stop anybody from getting immediate line of sight on him, at least from the hallway Jan I know is pushing. He'll continue forth. There's Kansan. Ready to get the second to last kill. Wildcard need to move to match point. Move up 6-2. Denied full points yesterday, even denied 2 despite a monumental performance. But with just one more kill and one more round, they will at least guarantee themselves point number 2. The first weekend of the North America League.
One final round. Wildcard need just one more to put the game away. The thing is, things start terribly for Wildcard, as Dash is taken down during an aggressive crunch from Forks and Lobby out of SSG. This is really bad, since Wildcard haven't committed to much of an upstairs extension. With so much time on the board, SSG have the opportunity to work tons of vert above site, taking away playable positions from the defenders and making a transition into site easy. Given the situation, Wildcard feel the need to try and retake. So they send Bay and Baby Shark up Exo to flank. But look at this. Benja is holding in the perfect position to shut them both down.
Want first Dokkaebi call used. Still plenty of Deathmark trackers as well. Benjamaster here's one just around the corner. It's a double swing and a double falter.
Things go from bad to worse as the round turns into a 5v2. But it isn't over yet, as Kansan gets aggressive towards storage. And with SSG opting to hit site immediately rather than consolidate their advantage, he has yet to be spotted as he moves to make his play.
But Baby Shark and Bay meet the business end of that M14. Kansan looking to refrag, will find one, maybe two, as another 1v1 moves his way. But SSG gave the call to push quickly. But how quick is too much? This is only a 2v2. Ashen now falls!
The round flips on its head as Kansan picks up 3 while Spiker shuts down the site hit. Still, in the meantime, Fultz was able to plant the diffuser. He finds himself in a 1v2, but time pressure now works against the defenders. But then, Wildcard play things beautifully, taking their time and grouping up to make certain Fultz isn't able to isolate any one player. And the result is immaculate as they work together to secure what should have been long ago an impossible round.
2v2, Ashen now falls! Kansan's fully retaken up top, and the 1v1 is a blitz? What space are you gonna create? You gotta be worried about ADSing, revealing your feet. Kansan's got the heartbeat scanner as well to find time. C4 over top, it misses. One blinded, trying their best to make this dance work, and the bandit stabs him in the neck! In the 1v1 wild card, a close game today does not mean it'll be close tomorrow. 7-2 over our NAL champs.
Thank you so much for watching once again. I gave my Twitch channel a little shout out earlier in the video. You guys should follow my Twitch. If you watch the videos, like, what are you doing? I do the same thing on my Twitch channel. I just break it down live, and also you can hang out and chat with me, which is fun. Thanks Duck again for helping edit this video, and yeah, we'll be back very soon once again with more stuff. We're up in the numbers. We're increasing. Yeah. All right. Peace out. Bye.